Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. My friends, I have some potentially game-changing news about Indiana Jones 5 that strongly suggests that we have won a major victory in the war to save pop culture. I confess I have been in a dark mood of late, and Doomcock has been brooding over the fate of Indiana Jones 5. I've watched the trailer numerous times, I've considered the footage, I've looked at Mangold's statements denying that Indy will be replaced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I've been playing devil's advocate in my own mind, trying to find some small glimmer of hope that Indy may not be ruined for all time in this movie, and lo and behold, this morning I got confirmation that there is hope for Indiana Jones 5, straight from the mouth of John Williams himself. Now, this is not a rumor or speculation. I have the audio from Williams himself, and according to Williams at least, Disney has pulled back from the brink. Kennedy is not going to get the ending she wanted, it seems, and while the movie itself may still feature a hectoring Phoebe Waller-Bridge, constantly insulting and berating Indiana Jones throughout the movie, clearly they are changing the ending if Williams wasn't flat out lying, and this tells us that once again, #Doomcock was right. If they are shooting a new ending, as Williams claims, and I'll play you the audio clip in a moment, please bear with me, it is damn near an admission that indeed my rumors were absolutely correct. It strongly implies that yes, there have been test screenings, and they have been disastrous. I also stated in numerous videos that James Mangold's flat-out denial that Fleabag was going to replace Indiana Jones told me that Mangold must know something we don't. Otherwise, he wouldn't risk being called out as a liar when the film releases. Well, now we know, folks. Mangold stated that Phoebe Waller-Bridge was not going to replace Indy because he must have known that they were shooting a new ending. He absolutely must have known that when he finally came out and denied my rumors, since it takes a while to schedule and coordinate a reshoot, but of course, he was trying to gaslight us all and discredit me in the process. He claimed the horrible rumored ending where Fleabag replaces Indiana Jones in history was never even discussed in order to try to represent me as a lying troll, but the truth of it is that ending does exist. Kennedy was pushing for it, and it would have happened if I hadn't gotten the word out about what they were planning. Mangold knew that ending was never going to fly despite what KK wanted, and so he denied it ever existed, knowing a new ending had been written and was about to be shot.
Looks like with the help of all those leakers who sounded the alarm a year ago, you managed to expose the dastardly plans of Kathleen Kennedy, and with all the pressure put on Disney by the horrible public outcry, looks like you forced Disney's hand and Indiana Jones is saved after all.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Harvey. The movie itself is almost certainly going to be awful. I have strong doubts that any mix-and-match branching video game script could ever make a great movie. But at least it appears now that because of the public pressure you good people out there put on Disney as a result of my rumors, Disney has forced Kathleen Kennedy to change the time travel ending where young Indy dies, old Indy gets erased from time, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge takes his place. And that, at least, is potentially a huge victory for Indiana Jones fans, and I think a vindication for my channel. Even if the movie stinks, so long as Indy is not erased, so long as we don't get Fleabag Jones moving forward, it's a massive win in the war to save pop culture, and may represent a turning of the tide, the first time a studio has been forced to make changes of this magnitude to respond to fan outrage. If true, and I have no reason to believe that John Williams is a liar, although of course this could be some weird kind of disinformation, it means that what I've been saying for years is true. We are winning the war on woke. Indeed, this development may even mean that all the cards have been tossed in the air, and even the time travel element could possibly be eliminated. But let's listen to the man himself. Here's what John Williams stated during a concert he conducted with the Filarmonica della Scala, Milan, Italy, December 12, 2022, just yesterday.
So we have just about completed the film. We have maybe another ending to shoot and to record maybe in a couple of weeks.
We have maybe another ending to shoot and record in a couple of weeks. Williams hedged his bets to cover himself, but he would never have said that unless he'd been alerted to the possibility he'd have to score a new ending. Yes, it appears John Williams let a piece of information slip that Disney and Kennedy would have preferred stay secret. Out of the mouths of babes and composers, I suppose.
Or perhaps Disney wanted Williams to let it slip to turn the tide of negative publicity. But what this tells us more than anything is that Disney heard us. There was so great a cry throughout the land that they have surely let our Indy go. This, my friends, is a game changer. If they're shooting a new ending, they may be cutting down Fleabag's role, they may be editing out a bunch of her disrespectful, snarky comments to Indy. A new ending means Disney realizes they have a looming disaster on their hands, and so we can't rule out not only a new ending, but an entirely different approach to the movie. Think about it. If they no longer need Indy to get erased from history, it's possible, given the many different versions of the movie they've shot with all the amazing amount of footage that they have exposed, they might even trash the much-hated time travel angle as well.
Dude, that would be impossible, wouldn't it? I mean, looking at the trailer, time travel seems embedded deep in the plot. Too deep to change.
I've been brooding about this for a while, Harvey, and I had a niggling notion I'd like to share with you guys. What I'm about to tell you is not a leak, not a rumor, but merely speculation, analyzing a few scraps of information that don't fit with the established narrative. Now, we all know there was time travel in this movie. The leaked photos, multiple sources including sources in the mainstream media, the trailer itself, all clearly indicate that time travel was a main feature of the various versions of this mix-and-match Frankensteinian patchwork quilt of a script. We had shots of German tanks as well as shots of Roman soldiers and barges taken on set and leaked to the Daily Mail. But now, if they're shooting a new ending where Indy isn't erased in time, could they possibly even get rid of the time travel element altogether, just to embarrass all of the leakers that said time travel has been an element? Consider this alternative. Yes, we see the German time machine / anti-gravity device in the trailer. Indy is lecturing about it. Yes, we see the Dial of Destiny itself. I believe it's the Dial of Destiny, which is obviously the key to the German machine. Yes, we see de-aged Indy, vintage German uniforms and tanks and whatnot. That was part of the time travel plotline, but what if they eliminate the time travel aspect of the film? What if the de-aged Indy, all the vintage German stuff, is condensed and confined to a flashback at the start of the film where he initially encounters this time machine / anti-gravity device? Hell, what if they cut to this other past narrative as a parallel narrative, cutting back and forth between the present Indy adventure and the past Indy adventure? This would allow them to recycle a bunch of the time travel footage from the first rejected cut of the movie. Then with some additional scripting and new footage of Indy in the 60s, they might have a new movie free of literal time travel, which they would no longer need if they are indeed shooting a new happy ending, as John Williams stated. Consider, they were already starting the movie with a flashback. They could expand this sequence into a very lengthy flashback in order to save money and use as much of their previous footage as possible. Then they come to the 60s, and they eliminate the time travel element just by shooting some new stuff set in the 60s, some bridging scenes, elements of the plot that happened in caves, in ruins, underwater, all could be incorporated into the 60s timeline with minimal difficulty. Indeed, even the Roman soldier footage could be salvaged as a flashback with Indy describing the magic time travel thingamabob that sank and was recovered by the Germans. Am I saying any of this is the case? No, absolutely not. This is not a tip or a rumor. I am merely pointing out the possibilities that come with a new ending for Indiana Jones 5. Everything is on the table. I imagine they have shot many, many different versions of this movie. They have a ton of footage. They could definitely make that edit. Now, I don't think this scenario is likely, but I'm just pointing out that all things are possible with Indy 5 now, including hope. At this moment at least, if Williams is telling the truth, it may well signal a major victory for us in the war to save pop culture. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.